What's good, y'all? We got a couple more songs, man. We're gonna get started. We're gonna get started in 1 minute, man. Couple more songs, y'all. First song was for my boy Blue Nose. Shout out Blue Nose, man. Shout out to the homie Blue Nose, guys. It's that guy, man. Newport. Stand up. Hillside, stand up. I'm him, Giovanni. Shout out my boy Blue Nose for them first couple tracks, man. Salute. What up, Dina? Giovanni, I see you. What's up? RP Sticks, RP T Blake, RP Money, guys. Yo, put a like in the comments, man. Put a thumbs up in the comments if you hear the music good. For sure, Giovanni. Y'all can't hear the music? Oh man. Hold on, might as well start this up. What's going on, yo? My bad, man. I thought y'all could hear the music. I ain't know y'all couldn't hear the music. Yeah. Hey, my fault, y'all. Shout out to everybody watching the live, man. First and foremost, I appreciate all y'all. Um, I'm about to bring on a guest right now, but first and foremost, I want to say thank you to him. You know what I'm saying? For coming back on. You know, there was definitely a little what you call a little mix up last time. I was trying to live stream the whole broadcast of the interview and everything like that, and cuz kind of I kind of hit the wrong button. I go to say so to say I put on I put it on Facebook instead of broadcasting it to YouTube. So here we are again. So I want to thank my boy Kim, man, for coming back on here. Because a lot of people, don't know that he was already on here. You know what I mean? Like, so I want to get here. I want to just thank him for that first and foremost. And yeah, man, I want to bring him on here. So those who aren't familiar with this platform is a platform to give a voice to the resellers. People who resell sneakers, people who want to resell sneakers, people who are thinking about reselling sneakers. Um, you know, and they're gonna they this is for that. If you don't know much, you're gonna learn a lot of things watching this channel about reselling. You'll get to see a lot of outs and ins of the sneaker game here. You get to learn a lot of places to go to sell inventory. You'll see a lot of store owners. I'm tapped in with a lot of store owners. This young man I'm gonna have on here tonight, he's a store owner as well. So it's just giving people free game, letting you know that there's no hate. I mean, at least on my side, with anybody, all these people I bring up here are great in the sneaker world, are great in the sneaker game. Um, and I really respect everybody who I bring up here. So these dudes are all dudes who are heavy, who put in a lot of work in the sneaker game, um, and they play no games about sneakers and getting the job done like myself. You know what I mean? So shout out to everybody who I've interviewed thus far. Shout out to my boy coming up here tonight. I'm about to bring him in now.
Let's go, bro.
Big Cam, what's going on, man?
Oh, bro.
How you doing? How's everything? How's everything? Chilling?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm ready to do this again.
Did you? Yeah, that's the first. Not for that. This is the first time I see Cuz smile the whole time I know him. I was like, yo, I was talking to my cousin about that the other day. I said, bro, is it me or does Cam have no emotion? What's going on with Cuz? He don't never smile. I said he don't
Nah,
never. Yeah, I said
yo,
he just.
not that often. Yo, not in my store, guy. I can't, bro. That's my business setting.
Yeah, you gotta keep that store mug on, huh?
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. But like I said, man, I was just bigging up. I didn't know if you heard me or whatever. But man, I just want to shout out to you, man, and thank you again for jumping back on. You know what I'm saying? Even though the first one didn't go as planned, but this one we're gonna do what we do. It's streaming. I see it. It's on. So yeah, we're gonna get it done this time, man.
All right,
Um,
bro.
so dig right in. A lot of people, honestly, a lot of people were kind of asking me like, "Yo, what happened to that Cam one? Where's the Cam interview?" You know what I mean? So I'm glad we got to do this again. But we're gonna dig right in, and first we're gonna talk about. I know it's gonna be a little repetitive, but we want to talk and tell the people who you are, a little bit about yourself, and where you're from. Where'd you grow up? Like where did it all start at for you
Yeah,
as
that's
a
fine,
like
bro.
as a kid?
Yeah. So my name's Cam. I grew up in Fairhaven, Massachusetts. It's a small city, not even a city. It's a small town on the side of New Bedford. I went to school there my whole life, from elementary all the way to high school, and I've lived in Fairhaven for most of my life too. The only other place I bounced back and forth between was New Bedford. Um, I come from a family with three brothers and sisters, and my parents weren't always. They split up when I was young, so I bounced between my mom's house and my dad's house. My mom lives in New Bedford. My dad was in Fairhaven, so it's a little chaotic growing up. Um, but as far as my sneaker resale career goes, I've been doing this now for coming up on 11 years. This is my second storefront. I had a storefront before this one, and I closed it to open this bigger one that I'm in right now. And I've been doing this for, like I said, 11 years. Meetups, conventions, started all the way at the bottom and worked all the way up to a busy storefront in my hometown. So,
Absolutely. And when I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna rewind. I know you said a lot there
yep,
to answer the question. Going back, when you started resale, I know you said I know the parent your parents had split up and your dad was in Fairhaven, you said,
yeah,
and your mom was in New Bedford. So
yep,
I don't know where I wasn't really familiar where the actual shoe reselling began or where did the interest for the actual shoes take place and where did you become a sneakerhead and where did this all shoot off and take place at?
yeah. So it happened when I was a senior in high school. That was 2012 to 2013. That's when I started collecting. Um, my first pair was a pair of Bred 11s, the 2012 release Bred 11s. And then I camped out for my first ever sneaker in 2013, and it was the Fire Red 5s with the black tongue. Those were two of my first cops. At first, like, I was just a collector, bro. I didn't buy to resell. I was just putting all my money into shoes because I liked it. It was a hobby for me.
Right.
Um,
Shout out to
and
the Fire Red Fives too.
the black tongue, yeah, I know that's an old school shoe.
They don't know. They don't know about that. Not a lot. A lot. Hopefully, a lot of resellers gonna watch this, so they'll know. But you
Yep.
know, the people that don't know don't know. That's an OG shoe, people. Man, look that up.
Yeah. But
But go ahead.
yeah, so that it started as, like, just a collection, when I was 17. And it was me just collecting sneakers, buying them year round, for years and years and years straight before I had accumulated, 100, 200 pairs over a 5 or 6 year span. And then that's when I realized, yo, like, this is a bit ridiculous for me to have this much shoes when I don't even wear half of them.
Yeah, they're just sitting.
And it was probably around 2016 at some point where I started selling them off. My first ever sale was a pair of Raptor 7s. I sold them to my boy because I actually outgrew them.
You keep bringing up some good pairs, man. Some legendary joints. Right. Shout out to
Oh,
Rock the Sevens.
yeah, that's an old school pair too. But
Yeah, for sure. The
yeah, that was
original Rock the Sevens.
that was probably my first ever sneaker sale. And I sold them for more than I got them for because obviously they had went up in value over, like, the span of a few years. And I ended up liquidating probably half my inventory in 2016 to get some money together, and that's when I started doing buyouts on Facebook on 508 Sneakerheads, and that's when I started reselling heavy big time through like Kixify, Grailed, eBay, all the big pre-owned markets at the time. You know,
The OG joints, man. Shout out to the OG sneaker pages and sneaker sneaker websites you're able to sell on and everything. The beginning, man. Shout out to those apps and things, man. For
yeah,
sure, it paved the way.
that and Walmart, bro. You ask all my OG customers about Walmart, they'll tell you
Walmart.
Walmart.
What do
That's
you
where I met
mean?
I met
Hold on. What do
I
you
met
mean
I met
Walmart?
I did all my meetups at Walmart.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking, I'm
All
like, hold on. He's about to tell me something legendary about Walmart I never knew existed. They
nope.
got some type of, all right. All right, that was the meetup. That was the big meat spot.
That was this meat spot for Haven Walmart. I met everybody there. Sometimes I would sit there for like an hour and I'd have like four people roll through.
Yo, so
Just
you know my cousin Jay.
yep.
So, I was unfamiliar with the sneaker game at first, my first pickup. Cause like, can you meet me at the police station? And I called my cousin. I'm like, yo, bro, this kid wants me to meet him at the police station, all this. So I'm not even dealing with this, bro. I'm just trying to buy some shoes. I ain't trying to get, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going on. At that time, I was living different than I am now, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I was paranoid about the situation. And he told me, nah, that's what happens. People try to meet in like public places or police stations when it comes to shoe meetups, because a lot of people get robbed. I didn't think that happened in the shoe world, so I didn't know about that. Um, but yeah, that was like pertaining to what you said about Walmart, because that's kind of a public meeting ground. You know what I mean? That's where you chose to start doing your thing at. And my bad. I got another question on top of this one. So
Yep.
like a lot of people may not know because I didn't know at first. I asked you last time. So you didn't start the 508 sneaker page.
No, I'm not the creator, bro. I'm not.
You're not the creator. Yeah, a lot of people get confused because a lot of people think that. I know I think that, and I know a lot of people think that
Yeah.
didn't know you. You know what I mean? So people are like, they think that, but yeah, man. He's just a big piece of that, a real big piece of that. And
Yep.
you did start running the whole group at one point, no? Or you've been
Oh
doing that
no,
for a
yeah.
while?
I've been an admin for 5 years now, so
Okay,
I've been an admin for a long time.
all right,
But yeah, I have full control of the group. Like I can change anything on it. I can remove people, which I don't do that. I'm pretty good with not removing people. I'm not as
yeah,
strict as some of the other people who run the page are. But yeah, I'm a big part of that group's buying and selling, and I have been for going on 10 years now. So
yeah, that's cool. So, so you talked a little bit about eBay, the beginning, selling pairs and buying pairs. So when you started selling and buying pairs, you said you sold half of your collection. And then when you started buying pairs and flipping pairs on eBay, were they mostly used or were you buying brand new pairs after that initial first flip of flipping half of your shoes? Like how did it take place after that? Did it go just straight into DS or was it used? And for the people that don't know, that's just tuning into my channel, the sneaker language DS means dead stock, which also means brand new. That's what that stands for. But yeah, um, how did that transpire? Did you just go right into DS, or did you start selling used after that first sale?
pre-owned is the big flipper.
Okay.
Yeah, pre-owned is the big flipping when you first start because the margins are a lot better. People are usually more willing to like let stuff go for a lot cheaper when it's used, and you can easily clean it up and make it better. So
So yeah, so I just asked that because that's for anybody, young kids trying to get in and thinking that they need to have a brand new pair of shoes or something like that to start this, or they need to get the hottest pair of shoes and buy in on that, and pay a little extra if they need to because it's going to go up and all that. You can start with a used pair of shoes. You know what I mean? One used pair of shoes will probably get you to two if you're smart about it, and you pay well for the shoes. You know what I mean? What would you say? Starting out for someone like young watching this, starting out, what would they want to pay for used shoes? Like, what would they want to not pay more than? I say me. I say I starting out, just getting in the game. You shouldn't pay more than $100 for a used shoe. That's just my opinion. It's my opinion.
It really
What,
depends on what it is, bro. It
what
does.
shoe? You talking? What model shoe? What it
Yeah.
is and all that? Yeah, I mean, like retros and stuff like that, dunks and things like that. Even ones that are really doing, I just $100 max to me. I just, I mean, I'm really still chopping people at the ankles out here sometimes. You know what I mean? So it's like if they're not, you know, if they're not really into the shoe game or really caring about the shoe, and they don't mind if I'm like, doing my thing, and grabbing it for a certain price, then I don't mind grabbing it for that price. I'm in it to make money. If someone there's been times if someone's selling me things for too cheap, I definitely let them know, like, I'll give you a couple more dollars, bro. This is going for this, but I'll be able to sell it for this. You know what I mean? Uh, so you know, um, it does, like you said, it does depend on certain things. The certain shoe or whatever shoe it may be.
Yep.
But usually I like to stay in that $100 range for used shoes, especially when I first started out. But yeah, man. So you spoke on your upbringing a little bit. You spoke on how you got started in the shoe game. You said that getting in used pairs are the most profitable.
Definitely the most.
They're definitely, because they don't cost as much as brand new shoes. Obviously, that's what he means by that. So you start flipping used pairs. Um, Now after you sell half of your collection, you start flipping used pairs. How long from that point, when you start moving in used pairs, do you get your first brick and mortar?
4 years.
4 years from the first initial sale type.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're looking at probably 4 to 5 years, bro. Because I opened Kilburn Mill. I signed that lease in early 2021. I killed 2020 sales online, bro, because that was the COVID year. That was a big money
Yeah,
year for sneakers. That's definitely the year that propelled my business.
a big boost. Yep.
Yeah. So that was definitely the year that propelled it. 2021, I signed my first lease, which that's probably about roughly 5 years after I was first reselling on like the side. And it's not like I was just sneaker reselling for 5 years, dog. Like, I had
Yeah.
full 40-hour week jobs, bro, for
Okay.
most of my life, bro. You know, like,
Yeah. So that's really important that you say that. I'm sorry not to cut you off, Cam, but that's really important that you say that because uh, a lot of people think, I'm somebody who just does this full time. I grind out heavy, but a lot of people think that it's just that. A lot of people go and they go to work. You know what I mean? They go and they go to work to fund this. Some people do, other things to fund their activities and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, a lot of people always have another source of income to fund their sneakers. That's the smarter way to go. It saves you a lot of frustration, a lot of time, and it leaves you a lot of room to do a lot of things. So, like my man was saying, he, was working, saving his money, working a lot of hours. Go ahead, Cam. You were working a lot of hours. You got your first brick and mortar. You working all those hours. It took you about 4 years while working those hours and hustling shoes. You get the first brick and mortar. That's when you had Homeboy in there. I remember you had Quinn, the one. I if you guys haven't checked that out, episode 3, I interviewed Quinn. He's from the Plugged In Downtown, so go check that episode out. But initially when Cam first opened, people who don't know, he had Quinn in there with him. So they both elevated. You know what I'm saying? And they all now they're doing their own thing. They got their own stores, and both thriving. So you got the first store. You said it really went well, like almost initially the first year because it was the COVID year you opened.
No. I opened right after COVID, so I opened
Right.
with
Okay.
I opened with plenty of like funds and inventory. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like I definitely had a good solid inventory to open up a store at that point because the amount of sales that I was able to make in 2020 because people were just spending money on whatever, bro.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It was definitely. People were throwing money at the world like it was a strip club. You know what I mean? They were
Exactly.
just everywhere on anything, man. You know what I mean? Going to the gas station. You know what I mean? So I know what you mean by that. So 2020 was definitely the boost that just started it, that made the store a reality. You would
Yeah.
say, you know what
Yep.
I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so once you get in the store, you go in the store, and the store, does it initially do well? Is the traffic heavy, or people that from the 508 group continuing to follow you? They follow you into the store. Like, how's the clientele initially?
The opening day was really good. I mean, it was a small opening. Obviously, it was nothing spectacular, but we did probably have like 100 people come through. Um, I made a lot of sales the opening day, and then after that, um, it plummeted real quick. The first couple weeks in there, we'd probably have maybe 1 or 2 good days for 3 days where we didn't get much traffic at all. But like with a location like that, that's just kind of how it goes, bro. You know, um,
Would you say it was the publicity, like, were you not publicizing it the right way, you think, or was it just business?
no, I mean it was
You,
more
you think you
probably.
could have went like a little bit harder, like trying to push it out there, or do you think it was just the traffic, what it was?
I don't think that. I think that every business takes time to get ready unless you see it in a mall or like a busy area.
Yeah, that
Um,
is the constant traffic for sure.
right.
Yeah.
When you have it inside of a mill and like the only people who know that it's in there are the people who know you or the people on the Facebook groups, it's not gonna always be popping because you haven't reached the general public yet. I would
Mhm.
say that location, um, from when I opened it in June, probably to like September was very, very mostly slow. And then October, going up to that Christmas that year, is when that location definitely blew up. You know,
Okay.
yeah. So it had probably been like 4 to 6 months in before that location was really starting to pop off, even though that I was in the mill.
And then,
Um,
like, from that fourth to 6 month period, like, it just went from there on.
yeah, yep. And then from that, I mean, from there it became steady. You seen it may start with pretty much plenty of
Yeah,
room in there to leaving
yeah, I
with
was
not
there.
a single ounce of room left in that store.
Absolutely, man. I got to see the growth. I got to see the growth, man. So yeah, this man, what he's saying is all factual. Um, it was kind of bare. He had a night. Yeah, it was a good space to start with. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Somebody can't complain with that space. So he
no,
had a nice space to start with. Um, and it was a little bare. They had kicks in there. You know what I mean? But the quality of everything that was in there, the quantity of everything that was in there, was nothing compared to what he had before he moved out of that shop. Like, he couldn't, I'll let you tell it. He couldn't even stack anything anymore. So
yeah. By the time, I mean, that was about a year later. Um, a year after opening that store that I signed the lease for the second store. and I ended up closing that one 13 months after I originally opened it. And at that point, like you just said, there was literally no room in there. You probably that location. If I wanted to guess, when I opened it, it was probably like a 200 pair location, and by the time I was done with that location, you're probably talking like a 500 pair location.
Yeah,
So
that inventory definitely shot up, bro.
yeah,
It was definitely stuffed up in there, bro. And like I'm saying to people, it was a good space. You know what I mean? So just think about that, man. From it going to regular nice, walking type of store, cause like, and then going in a year later and it's just jam packed full of shoes and it being a nice size space. So
yeah,
that goes to like show you a little bit of like the progress, from him saying, going through the things he went through with the separation of his parents, having to go, back and forth, starting in the shoe game uh, later on in high school, like his senior year, um, going on to flip some of his own personal pairs, and then just continuing to do that, build up, build up online, built an online presence, continue to flip online, and within 4 to 5 months, while flipping online and working 40 hours a week, he obtained his first store, man. So shout out to you for that, bro. Just that alone, you know what I'm saying? Being able to do that, grinding like that, be an example for anybody watching, be an example for the kids. Shout out to you for that because that's dope, bro. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
It's an inspiration to the whole sneaker community, bro. You know what I mean? So that's fine. So you said now about a year. It took a year for you to get that jam packed. So it was like right. I didn't even know. I thought it was a little bit longer than that. You were in there for a year and then moved.
Yep.
Okay, I felt like it was like longer than that. I don't know why, but
I technically, I technically had the space in my name for probably a year and a half,
yeah.
but yeah, it was probably only 13 to 14 months tops that I was actually in that location, bro.
Oh damn. I don't know. I felt like 2 years type. I felt like I was going and seeing you for a minute, but yeah. So these are, we got a couple more minutes here. So these are some questions I asked you last time, but for the people, so they know, these are some of the questions I asked everybody. Um, if you had to say you had a favorite shoe for the viewers, I already know what would the shoe be if you would say one shoe at all.
Yeah. I told you last time it was Raging Bull fives.
And that's the pair we were talking about earlier, right?
That was my OG pair. That was my OG Grail pair. Was the Raging Bull fives. You're talking back when I was a true collector, back in the day. When I was young. Nowadays, I probably don't have the same opinion. But I still have my original pair of Raging Bull fives that I bought almost 10 years ago. So
So with that said, what's your new opinion? We know your OG opinion. We know what your grail was. We know what you was into back then. If you had to pick one now, what's it gonna be?
definitely a pair of my fours, bro. Um, you gonna call, bro?
Yeah, I'm hanging.
You good?
But go ahead.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
probably either the Dornbecker fours or the Off White fours. One of those two. Um, I'm a big fours guy nowadays, so
absolutely. Yeah, man. I took a big interest to the fours myself, so I'm into the fours too. You know, but growing up in that era, I'm like like '90s growing up, so grew up in the '90s. I was born in the '80s. I grew up in the '90s, so watching all those pairs come out, it was like 11s, 11s and 12s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying those are my favorite Jordans back then. And now that I'm going into like fours, you know what I'm saying? Fours are becoming my favorite Jordans, but I do like dunks. I mean, I like to rock dunks. So,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying that I don't know. I like to rock dunks. Um I just hate the way they get messed up. They get creased and mess up fast. You know what I mean? It's like you can't wear dunks more than a day without them getting, creases in them. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
That's something big to me that I don't really like, but it is what it is. I still rock the shoe, you know.
Yeah.
Um, if you could say you had like the most profitable shoe, what would be the most profitable shoe you had thus far in your sneaker journey?
Like the most
I mean
profitable.
like a clip of singular, however you wanna.
Um, Probably Tech Whites, white
You
Oreo
said what
fours.
now?
The Tech White fours, the white Oreo fours.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never even knew because I never even knew they was called tech weights until you just said that. I never
That,
heard
that's
nobody
like
call 'em.
that's the color code for them. But uh, I was able to get pretty much, I think, I don't know, like 20 something pairs from Expressions, and
Absolutely.
I flipped a bunch of them. Because I mean, I used to do the loops, bro.
Yeah, you was out there. Yeah, you was out there heavy too, man.
Yep.
I see. Yeah, I ran into you on a loop before. You know what I'm saying for the military force. So
I'm retired
yeah,
from it now, but I don't got
yeah.
the
I
time
mean,
anymore, bro.
it is what it is. But man, if you get back out there, you'll be smoking shit.
Yeah.
If you get out there at this point, you'll be smoking it, bro.
But yeah, that one. I mean, that was an original. You were already making probably 100 off each pair, and I held some to the point where I was making over 250 because they're a $500 shoe now. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
So
that's facts. Some
like,
I just got my hand on some navies, man. Some size fours, three sizes, man. I didn't know they was doing so good. They're doing like three something now in that size.
really,
That's what my boy was telling me. I didn't really look, but he's a kid that I grabbed shoes from, and he was telling me that. So I'm gonna grab them up from him. But I gotta go. I gotta check it out, of course. But yeah, man, them fours are just nothing to be reckoned with, bro. That market on them things just always shoots up something significant, bro.
yep.
Um, so what are your do you have anything else going on other than the shoe store? I know you have another business venture. Do you want to talk a little about that?
Oh yeah. So I mean, I'm less than 2 months away from opening up my gym, which you know about. So that's gonna be my second business, and that's was my original career path was a personal trainer and dietary. It's what I went to school for. It's what I worked for 4 years of my life. So now we're gonna go and invest into the gym so that I have my foot somewhere else.
Absolutely, man. Health is wealth, brother.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about being able to go ahead with the sneaker game and make that actually happen? Your dream actually happen, and then go back into your original dream and go back into tapping into, the health field and stuff. How does that feel? Being able to do that and accomplish that.
It's crazy, bro. Because like now for me, I've set myself up in like a position where it's like I never thought I'd be able to do that. So
Yeah,
I
you
never, I
could
never.
just remember hanging out. You know what I'm saying? Just chilling.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and that just drastically changed for you when you started, focusing on what you really wanted. Type.
yeah. I never thought that shoes was gonna get me into the position that I'm in, bro. honestly.
A lot of people don't, bro. A lot of
Yeah,
people still laugh, like they don't know, and I'm like,
yeah,
oh, were you grabbing shoes? Were you
yeah,
out selling shoes? I'm like, yeah, but you don't pay attention, you know what I mean, to everything else that's going on around that. But that's fine. I'm glad they don't. Um, but yeah, man, it's always a pleasure, Cam. I seen you started your own YouTube
yeah.
the other day or recently or whatever. What made you do that?
I mean, bro, personally, it's probably something I should have started a while ago, just because of the the foot traffic my store gets. I can make a lot of footage. I'm always there. I'm always busy, bro. And the sneaker scene blows up on YouTube. Like you've seen Common Hype, you've seen Cam's kicks. Granted, he
The
fell
the
off,
real
but
the real the real Cam's kicks.
yeah,
Now you heard we got the real Cam's kicks coming now. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. But it's pretty much just basically it's free advertisement, guy. Like I mean, I'm there for the day anyway. It's not hard to set up the phone on a tripod, film. It takes me 20 minutes to edit the footage at the end of the day, and then it takes me 10 to upload it, bro. And it's
I've been saying that, man. When I remember one of my first times coming in with my cousin, I told you that, bro. I said, man, all you have to do is just record the transactions, bro. Everything
yeah,
you do, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? I
yep,
tell everybody that. I said, you guys got footage just here every day. You get footage every
yep,
day. You guys got footage. There's nothing to go ahead and just tap into that.
yep.
So that is that's a crazy thing too, man. To be able to have that other outlet right there, and it's dope to see that you're tapping into that now. What give the people the name of your channel so they can
Uh,
go ahead and subscribe.
yeah, it's just at 508 Sneaker Store.
Absolutely. And my brother has a question. Should I ask him advice? Would he give to his younger self?
I mean, that is tough, bro. Cause like I just put up a status on Facebook the other day, and I literally was that like 5 years ago. I thought that I was never gonna be anything, bro. Like, and that's just real shit, bro. I really never thought I was gonna make something of myself, honestly.
I
And
know the feeling because I've been there.
there's been plenty of times, bro, where I've just sat with myself over the years, and I've just been unhappy with myself, bro. And I never thought that I was gonna do anything, and I was always bouncing between jobs, switching my major, not knowing what I was gonna do with myself. And it just so happens that my hobby, that the whole time where I was putting some time into it, overlooking it other times, putting more time into it sometimes, ends up being my biggest blessing. So realistically, I guess what I'd say to my younger self is I probably should have listened to myself the whole time and just focused all on what I love to do, bro. And that was
Not drift from your passion.
exactly because
And not
there's been a few times, man, where I almost quit. There was one time where I did quit, and I sold everything and I put all the money into the bank, and I was like, I'm done with sneakers, and I took like a 7 or 8 month break, and then something just drew me back in.
Yeah.
I think
I'm
I
glad
was
it
just
did, man, because now you're a big part of, everything we got going on, bro.
yeah,
Um, and it's dope, man, to see you, go through your ups and downs and it's some of the things that we go through as resellers, man. So it's good to see you on the level that you are now and to be able to relate, on the same some of the same levels that you were on and things you went through. You know what I mean? It's dope for the viewers and it's dope for myself, going through that. So
yeah,
yeah, man. As I said, Kim, man, it's always a pleasure, bro. I want to like I said, I want to appreciate you. I want to say I appreciate you again for coming on here, bro. For a second time and jumping back on after the mixtaps. Um, I'll see you soon. You know that. I appreciate
Sure.
you, man. If you guys haven't, go check out my boy, man. Most comfortable socks, fire socks. They're talking about them all over the town, man. You know how we're getting down. Go check out my boy Cam. 508 sneaker store. He got all the flavors, neighbors, shorts, hats, mittens for your kittens. Nah, he don't got mittens for kittens, but he got all kind of things, man. Go tap him on, my boy. He's doing his thing. Cam, salute to you, man. Appreciate you. Give them the address to your store, please,
All right,
and all
guys.
your social media plugins, please.
Yeah. So my store is 72 Main Street in Fairhaven, Massachusetts. My social medias at the 508 Sneaker Store is my Instagram, and then my Facebook is just the 508 Sneaker Store, and that's everything I have. So.
If you pull up, you tell him you know me, man. He's gonna give you 1% off. So make sure you tell him you know me. All right, Cam, I appreciate you, big dog. Much success to you, man. I hope everything goes well in your new business, man. Nothing but love, killer.
All right, Doug. Later.
Be
Thank you.
smooth. Absolutely. Thank you.